We're just going to keep waiting. Awesome.
Yes.
We are live.
Oh my gosh. I you know what? This is one of the things of being old, though, is that I still am one of those things where I'm like, I got to refresh the page, that 11 times. I see we're doing a pre-roll ad. You made it to partner, right, by the way, good, or associate or whatever it is, where they'll do pre-roll ads. Good work. Yeah, I'm watching the pre-roll ad now, but I'm sure we are live.
We are live. Actually, while we're talking about being live, I'm going to shoot a quick email to all of the people who registered for this.
Yeah, everybody.
Just to remind them.
Getting a quick email. Thanks for responding to my email. There was a tweet yesterday that was, I hope this email doesn't find you. I hope you're free.
I love that. Oh my god.
Oh. Okay. Live now. And it sure looks live now. Look at that. Look at us. Same framing. That's always important.
Wow.
Let's take a look. How we doing? Let's get people a second to show up. So we're doing the beverage check. We're checking out beverages. Shreya's got one, everybody, which is not. Can I get an L in chat for that? For the water, just water. While you guys drink. I had a film shoot like 3 months ago where my mouth was super dry and I just kept drinking LaCroix and then I started like belching while filming. I was like, oh my god, this is so professional. Oh my god, I was so nervous. I didn't want to tell. Why did I tell you this story? I could have just not. I didn't have to tell anyone this. It's on the cutting room floor.
I feel like they got to get to know who you are. You know what I mean? Like they got to get to know the real you.
Yeah. So if you're watching on demand or if you're just logging in, my name is Nočnica. I am the head of DevRel at Courier. And here's the backstory. And I'm going to mention it a few more times because I want to be clear with you. I am new to Courier. So we thought that a great way to see somebody learn and go through this workshop was to put the new gal in with Shreya, our very experienced DevRel person, who's actually going to show me this. And like, I'm super new at Courier, which means I use Courier during the interview process as I always do. But I was like, okay, this is working. Anxiety, I'll stop. And so like, I'm going to be doing this. Shreya's going to be, baby burning me through this process as part of this presentation. So if you're following along with this as a recording, this should give you a pretty complete ability to send a first. A piece of code to person communication, right? Which sometimes we call it notification, right? But it can take a lot of forms. It can be an in-app notification. It can be a push notification to an application, an email, an SMS, right? All these things. Shreya, talk more about that. Talk more about the potentiality of Courier.
I was just going to say that you're doing such a great job. You're about to put me out of my job. But yeah, everything that you said is perfect. Courier is a notifications API, product notifications API. The goal is for all you like engineers out there that are trying to build like a really awesome product to give you the opportunity to actually focus on your product, but also build something that can be really engaging for your users without having to put the extra time and energy into certain aspects of it. So we focus on notifications. We want to make sure that you are able to have great communication with your users, send out emails, send out SMS. And when I say emails, I don't mean like a couple to your users. I mean, be able to automate your entire process, send it out to like hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands or how many millions of users that you have, and make sure to like streamline that process as much as possible. In our workshop today, we're going to specifically be talking about sending multi-channel alerts using a Node.js environment with Courier. It's 3 minutes into the live stream. Should we just go ahead and get started?
We're seeing people filter in, so that's great. Okay. I just want to type in a quick chat, but I'm going to say the thing while I type it, which means I'll type it exactly correctly. Everyone. And I just want to say that if you chat with us on Twitch at twitch.tv/ShreyTheCray, SHREY THECRAY. I got it first try.
You got it first try.
Interact with us in chat. I will get you some swag. I will make it happen. Okay. I don't know what the swag will be. I don't know if it'll say Courier on it, but it'll be cool. I'll buy you a Lego set. I don't care. So yeah, if you interact in chat, I will absolutely get you some swag. I'll tell you how to get connected and get that swag at the end of the stream, but I will make it happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I think that's wrong. Oh well, there was one last thing on my mind, just as like this top level idea, which is I saw this thing on Hacker News yesterday where somebody said, "Do you have examples of an app that exists via SMS that like?" That, you know, yes, maybe there's an app home screen someplace or a web page someplace, but most of your interface with the app is via SMS. Now, something that made me feel a million years old is that I actually remembered when Facebook, Twitter, and stuff had like an SMS version, right?
Oh, wow.
Like,
okay.
Twitter used to be 140 characters because that's what it could send on an SMS, right? And so, you know, that used to be just sort of that was an available way to interact with these apps. But I think it's just worth thinking about that, like for a lot of people, the way that they get that communication notification, that is their experience in your application. So it's worth thinking about. Okay, now I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna be quiet briefly.
No, that was honestly a really cool story. I had no idea. I only started using Twitter like last year, so I didn't know that these all of these apps were like SMS based before.
Yeah, like I started Twitter a long time ago, but I never, you know, I was like on the work computer, you know, when I got started, right? So like, I didn't have any need for like I want to be able to SMS in and out my tweets, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna think about like how would you? I think it was just an SMS system to send tweets and maybe get replies.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
I Hybrid 11, thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna put it in here, which is like if you DM serverless mom with the word spaghetti, I will get you swag. I will also try to like find you and like correctly go back to the chat and find people. But if you DM me the word serverless mom or the word spaghetti to my Twitter account on serverless mom, serverless_mom, I will absolutely get you a Courier swag.
Awesome. On that note, I think before I even get into the whole notifications API, I think my first slide is we have graphic tees, and honestly, these t-shirts are like my favorite thing in the world. You can like barely tell they're actually from Courier, but they're really colorful and pretty, and I love them. So we'll have 3 different challenges throughout the course of this workshop where you can get an opportunity to get one of these swags, and then obviously if you tweet at serverless mom or DM her, she'll also send you some fun swag. So let's get started. Notifications with Courier. Nika actually just mentioned this earlier. In case you missed it, we'll go over it again. But Courier is a notifications API. We allow or empower startup engineers to build a product and integrate notifications without having to worry about having like a bunch of different APIs or without having to build the entire thing from scratch, which can be super time consuming and expensive if you're trying to build everything from scratch, or if you're hiring a bunch of engineers to work on this product, or if you're paying all of these different APIs to do everything for you. And then your code base is essentially just like hundreds and hundreds of API calls, which can get like really messy. So instead, what Courier does is it helps you integrate any type of email, SMS, push notification, or direct message, and various different providers for each of these. And what I mean by providers is, for example, for email, you can choose whether you want to use SendGrid or Gmail. You can choose for SMS if you want to use Twilio or Africa's Talking SMS API. So it gives you a variety of options that you can choose from to build the exact type of notification system that you want to. So let's say you're building like an actual, like a social media application, you're going to need to have some sort of interaction with your users, right? Nika, what are some other examples where you can think of where notifications might be important?
Yeah, so, you know, notifications or communication, right? They're a way to like warn. They're a way to keep hot a relationship. And another big one is they're a way to make your funnel like actually work. So a pretty common thing, like let's say you're building like a security or observability tool. A pretty common thing is that people like check you out and they don't get to the real like candy at the end of the process, right? They don't get the piñata all the way open, right? And so you want to be able to use that communication to be able to say, hey, you're almost set up, right? You're almost reporting data, getting information. Hey, you know, or you want to say, hey, you're all the way set up, but you haven't used this feature. I want to let you know that, right? So while sort of traditional email campaigns or something can say, oh, it's been 90 days since sign up, so let's send them this tip. If you're able to connect your application directly with that communication, you're able to say, hey, we know exactly this about this user on this event. Go ahead and send them this piece of communication.
Exactly. And in terms of the format of this workshop, we're going to spend like the first few minutes just talking a little bit about how Courier works, why it works as a developer, what perks you get out of it. And then for the majority of the remainder of the workshop, we're going to be super hands-on. We're going to start with sending very simple notifications, SMS, email, and those types, and then eventually gradually move on to conditions and all sorts of other types of notifications.
I'd love to hear in the chat as we're going into this first part if you have sent notifications from your software before. So just to get a sense, if you want to drop in the chat, just say yes or no. Like, hey, I've sent SMS before using maybe an Amazon service or maybe like Twilio directly or what have you. Let us know if you've done that or if this is going to be like that SMS side is giving you territory. I think we've all sent email somehow, right? But I'm curious, like. I've maybe done one. I did one at like an AWS hackathon. I did a project that like sent SMS, and that was sort of because there was an AWS person there to show me how to set it up with the notification service from AWS. But that was a very like in ecosystem process. So yeah, I'm curious what y'all's experience have been. Let us know in the chat.
Awesome. So there are certain perks for using Courier. First of all, for a free t-shirt, this is going to be our very first challenge to get a free t-shirt. Can you guys guess how many notifications Courier offers for free? And the first person to guess the closest number in the next 60 seconds will win the t-shirt. Just guess any number. Nika, do you want to take a guess? I don't know if you already know this number.
This is like first thing you say. I think that it lets you send 1,000 notifications every month for free. But then go over that, TSNBK guesses 5,000, and I'm putting a rate on it because that's, I was an electrical engineer back in the day, so I'm always like, well, what's the rate? What's the time differential? But I'm guessing 1,000. TSNBK maybe is guessing the same as a rate, 5,000.
Okay. Let's give it a few more seconds. Okay, awesome. So it's not 10, definitely much better than that. It's not 100. It is more than 500. It is more than 1,000. It is, in fact, more than 9,999. It is 10,000 notifications. So although, Juan, you were super close in terms of unlimited, 10,000 can be a lot. We're going to have to give it to TSNBK. So congratulations. Go ahead and DM Serverless Mom, and she's going to send you the shirt afterwards. Awesome. So
TSNBK, I stink at Twitch messaging, but if you message me, I will get you contacted with swag stuff.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about events. Nika, what is your experience with events in development?
Oh yeah, so I'm Serverless Mom on Twitter. So I think of as an event-based system as being essentially you're not streaming, you're not getting constant bips from something. You're seeing a particular thing happen at a particular time as a package. And so a lot of your compute is based on the idea that you're waiting for an event to come in and that your compute can shut down when that event is replied to.
Exactly. So in Courier's case, we use notifications and automations as specific events. And when we say you can dispatch events directly from the code, it means that when you want to send out any type of notification or automation, you can do it directly through your code with just one single API call. And we're going to get to that in a second. If you want to follow along with this workshop, we're about to get into like the hands-on component of it very quickly. You're going to want to open courier.com/docs just so that you have a little bit extra guidance on the side, but we will also do everything together. So Nika, I'm actually going to ask you, we'll skip over the perks for developers. We're going to start building. I'm going to ask you to actually walk us through the sign-up process for Courier now.
Okay. So like Julia Child with a little bowl of chopped onions, I'm gonna say, oh well, I skipped exactly. Well, here's the really detailed step that I skipped, which was make sure I'm sharing the right window. I skipped clicking the button that said hey, sign up with Google. All I did was say, hey, which Google account do you want to be in? So now I'm here, which is customize your experience, select the channels you're interested in. 90% of so it starts like this. This is what I had. I here's what I've done so far. I click that, right? And I think my channels that I'm interested in are email and SMS, mainly just because I want to be able to annoy my friends. I want to be able to text them. I'll hope. 10,000 times. It seems like a lot of text,
Yeah, exactly. You could really get on their nerves.
We'll be the best of friends after that.
They won't have a choice. Literally automate like 500 messages every day. So yeah, right before this stage, you would simply just have to put in your email in app.courier.com. It'll take you through the login process, and this is the first step where you indicate what type of notifications you want to send. Okay, and serverless mom Nika has added that SMS is also her preferred type of notification. So let's keep going.
Okay, and then we'll continue. Tell us about that. I'm going to claim that my stack is Node.js, even though I do not. Nate, I love you so much, Nate. Hello, Nate.
It just pops up in the corner.
I will tell you, folks, if you're all used to this intercom bubble, and it's obviously always some bot, it's just like, hey, can I I'm just telling TS and BK, by the way, it's like, of course you won't ship to me because I'm not in the US. We're going to get you that graphic tee.
Of course, yeah.
Do not worry about it. We can make it happen. We're not afraid of DHL here doing international shipping. It's a T-shirt. We're not shipping, stupid crystal. Make it happen. Not to read out DMs on the chat, but if you were worried, if you want to compete for a graphic tee, I promise we'll get to you wherever you are. Okay, so how would you like to test the Courier app? Well, definitely through SMS. I want to receive text messages. It makes me feel popular. That's what we want to do. I'm going to click SMS. That's what I should do. I'm sorry. I should check in with you. You're running the work.
This is perfect. So the onboarding process is tailored entirely to your own preferences. So if you go for SMS, then the first message that you're going to send out is going to be an SMS. It's completely up to you.
Okay. Wait, this might not be good because now I'm I actually need a SMS provider and I don't have that. Oh, let's see.
Maybe we can go back to email. Yeah.
Okay. Woof. Okay.
I just want to clarify, SMS is perfectly fine as well if you have a Twilio account or if you have time to quickly make a Twilio account or another API.
And this is my own lack of knowledge. Cookie Monster, thanks for joining. Great to see you.
Hello.
So yeah, of course it didn't occur to me you need some kind of SMS provider.
Yeah.
All right. Said you have signed in with Google. Yes.
And the reason we're going with Gmail is because it's the easiest one to set up. You don't need to get any API keys. You just sign in with your Gmail account, and then it does all of the actual API authorizations for you. Okay. Awesome. So now we're at a part where it says test your connection, and Courier has provided you with a quick start code. If you look at your own code at the very top, there'll actually be a random string that says authorization bearer, and that's going to be your API key. You don't need to worry about saving it right now because you'll always have access to it later as well. But that's how we know that this is Nika's specific send versus your Cookie Monster's specific send.
So should I rotate my API key though after I'm the one who's on stream? Should I rotate it after? No worries.
Honestly, I have shown off my stream API key so many times and no one else uses it other than
Please stop. Please stop. Okay, I'm gonna switch my screen share. So I'm gonna hit stop screen. I'll start it again. So I'll disappear. Let me back. Share screen window.
And what Nika's doing right now is pulling up the terminal so that she can go ahead and make that send. Let's pull up her screen again. Oh, nope.
Oh, somehow no. Folks, you're gonna have to trust me on this one that I'm opening up the terminal. We've got a little bit of an issue, I think, probably with StreamYard, where it's just not super happy to. Actually, I'm gonna try one more. This is like StreamYard today became unable to handle. It's like not. It's only wanting to see like Chrome windows, and everything else is showing up as StreamYard. That's definitely something to do with like StreamYard's like screen share API on this end. But well, to be continued, folks. Let me go ahead and send this command.
Let me go ahead and screen share your screen. So go ahead, open your terminal, copy the code. You literally just have to click on the little copy button and then directly paste it into your terminal. And then, did it work?
Yeah, it looks like we got back a request ID. Mm-hmm. And look at this, we're getting our little verification. Yeah, where we sent our first notification.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was trying to see if my terminal would share. It is also not sharing. So
yeah, you notice in the preview, it's like just bright preview. So I assume that's what that is about. And yeah, let me just drop this in. If I go to open my email, we get a dumb joke via API.
Perfect. Awesome. So this is an email that was previously created by Courier, but all you need to see at this point is that once you have authorized your Gmail, Courier is able to send notifications. In the future, you can design it however you want to. You can choose who you're sending it to. You can add variables so you can personalize it to, like if you're sending it to thousands of people and you want to add their name or things like that, customize it based off of where they live or where they work or anything like that.
Cookie Monster mentions that we're developers, not DevSecOps. Too close to home, Cookie Monster. That's my life as well. I work in developer relations, so it's not my fault. But yeah, someone saw me logging in as root to an AWS account. About 2 years back, and I never heard the end of it from the AWS people. They were making fun of me for about 3 weeks. So, and Cookie Monster, I'm really glad to hear that you're enjoying it. Let's should we take a look at Explore Log? Should we look at what got logged?
Let's go ahead and look at Explore Logs. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So at the very top, you have your request that was received. So the moment you sent it out, Courier received this request saying that Nico wants to send an email. Let's go ahead and click on Profile Loaded. So here we can see which email we were trying to send it to. It also directly got this email from your account. So in the future, you can change who you're sending it to.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just hacking multi-tenancy, share all that delicious dancing sauce, but figured hide it. One question: does Courier support Slack, etc.?
It does. Yes. Our company's onboarding process is through Slack as well.
Yeah. So when you do like the onboarding sign up, which we're going to make public soon. We'll share a version of like here's what we make. But right now we make all new employees. The first thing they do is like send a Slack message. And actually this is this piece that despite being super new at Courier, this is sort of why I joined Courier. Was this secret sauce was really cool to me that. You have this channel summary object in the routing, which lets you say, hey, use the following channel if it is available. So you can say, hey, I don't have an SMS provider for that number, or I only have an email set for this user. I don't have an SMS set. And you can set an order of preference to say, here's how we want this notification to be routed, which is super duper powerful. And I'm super new. I mean, obviously this one is pretty simple, right? But it can get pretty complex here.
Exactly. And then you can click on the little rendered button right below that to see what your email looks like. When it says sent, that's exactly what was sent. I will also say if you ever run into an error, this is the place that you want to go to figure out what that error was and how you might want to fix it. So hopefully, but also not hopefully, we might run into an error today, and then we can kind of check it out, find our way.
Yeah, so let's try. I'm just going to hop over it, and I'm just going to try sending like an invalid object. So I'm gonna do something pretty basic, right? I'm just gonna send something that like doesn't have it's just not correct object formatting. One more
time. Anytime you make a request, whether it's with curl in the terminal, whether it's a Node.js app, when that request is sent through in your own logs, like on your computer, you'll get a response from the API. And it'll either say like message ID or request ID, which refers to like, hey, this worked, and this is the ID of the actual notification that was sent. If you don't end up getting that, that means that there probably was an error or something went wrong. And so that's when you kind of want to go into your logs and see what happened.
So yeah, I do apologize that we're in this state where I'm not able to show my my terminal. Really kind of fascinatingly annoying thing to be happening, but I'm able to get back like an unauthorized message, right? You know, what I did was I'll drop it in chat. What I did was I sent in like, hey, but I'll just change my authentication key, right? I'll just change my authorization, and it comes back, right? It takes a second, it comes back as, hey, you have an authentication error, right? You'll get some kind of return from your kernel.
Nika, do you have a rebel.it account? I think we should be able to.
Yeah, let's give that a try. Hold on 1 sec.
You can follow along locally, guys, or you can also do it on Replit if that's easier for you.
Yeah,
we are just not able to share anything outside of like a Chrome window. So
that's so weird. Yeah, no, and I appreciate the suggestion, Cookie Monster. It's actually really wild. Like, I can't do a full screen share, and I can't share any apps besides
for Google.
Besides Chrome. Okay. Yes.
So yeah, if you're following along and you're trying to create this project on REPL, then go ahead and create a Node.js app, call it whatever you want to, and build that. And if you are following along locally on your own computer and you're using an IDE like VS Code or something, in order for you to build that Node.js app, the first step will be to install Node. So I'm going to go ahead. You can just Google like install Node instructions. There is a command that you can use to
Right, that's the Node console, right? Yikes.
I'll go ahead and send this link in.
Hey, okay, all right. We're up on Replit. Oh my gosh, Shreya, I'm glad you thought of that. Oh boy. Oh, I was starting to get the flop sweat, everybody. To get the flop sweat, I was like, you know how it is when a single piece of code doesn't work and you're just like immediately like, my mom was right about me. You know how that is? That's like a normal thing everybody feels. So
okay, let's really quickly, before we move on, let's walk through what this actual curl command looks like, because that'll be helpful later as well.
Now that we can, see it.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right. We're trying to give us a few steps of zoom in and enhance. Alexa, play the CSI Miami soundtrack, please. Okay. That looks pretty good. How's that?
It looks great. I think it looks great.
Like to SteamYard works just fine. What works just? Yeah, no. Thank you. This is a good suggestion. And actually, like, I'm on StreamYard off of Social Live because they both had advantages, but like StreamYard worked in more circumstances. And insanely, I was doing a stream yesterday where StreamYard was working just fine, but both of us logged into StreamYard this morning, and they can't grab the whole desktop. I assume OS 10 security update. But yeah, StreamYard, when you're watching this, love y'all. We gotta fix this full screen thing. I'll be. Yeah, so let's take a look through this curl now that we can see it.
All right, so we have our first line that's literally saying we're making a post request, obviously, because we're trying to send some type of request to Courier, and then Courier is going to do all of the magic for us. The response for that post request is that line at the very bottom that says request ID with a bunch of numbers and letters in it, which shows us that this entire post request was successful. The second line over there says the URL is api.courier.com/send. So that's the endpoint of our post request. The third line is the header, and in the header, we're going to add our actual authorization code. Sorry, Nika, everyone's going to see yours. And then
I actually already know how to rotate API keys in Courier because I mess this up so often.
Awesome. I don't even know how to do that, so you're gonna have to teach me.
Don't worry, it's right in the config.
Okay, perfect. And then in data, the data object is the main thing where you can like customize it to whatever type of notification and how many ever types of notifications you want to send it out to. So the little to property within the message object is going to be who you're sending it to. So information about your user, you can add email, you can add SMS. If you're using any other type of provider, you would need to look at the provider docs to see what information that they need. For example, if you're using Courier Push, that specifically needs a different type of ID as well. So you'll add that in the to section. Content. So this is special because Courier, you can either directly send a message within your API call like this. And this is actually a really new feature that we announced like a few weeks ago. But you can also use the Courier Studio to make a template. And so if you want to build like a really fancy email that has images and designs and colors and it just looks gorgeous, for example, if you're making a newsletter or like a digest email, in that case, you might want to work with designers and have them build out the template and then send that. Versus if you're just sending out like a quick text, you don't really need to go through all of those design implementations, and you can just send it out with that one API call. So the title is the subject for an email, and the body is literally just the body. The little joke within the curly braces is a variable. So right below that, you can see that we have a little data object that has a joke labeled within it.
And this is where things get powerful, right? Is like our ability to say, hey, let's go ahead and populate this from each command to say, hey, let's populate, hey, we noticed that it's been 2 weeks or what have you.
Exactly. If you have information about your user, you can also use those curly braces to add like, hi, name of user, and all those types of things. So fantastic. Nika, you have officially been onboarded.
Yeah, I love it. I set a notification with Courier. I love it.
Awesome.
I want to manipulate this curl object a little bit. Since we're doing jokes, want to hear my pizza joke? Never mind, it's too cheesy.
No, go for it.
Oh. No, wait, Shreya, you missed it.
No, I got it. It took me a second, but I got it.
You got it. I'm just going to create a new file here called like just.md. And I'm going to paste in my curl command, which okay, you'll let me edit this, right? Right? Preview of test.md.
Maybe, do you have to double click it?
Okay.
Oh, go into console.
No. Okay. I'm okay. This is all fine because yes, there we go.
Oh, nice.
All right. So what I wanted to do was steal this curl command and okay. So this I think is not quite enough to say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite the joke. But that I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable for that. I know how to change the joke in the request. But let's see. Can we send an array of email addresses? So, folks, this is not part of the workshop plan, but this is just how Mom operates. Is I'm like, I just have to ask some initial questions about like, how does an API work, right? And so I gotta know. Can I just drop in this? And sorry for my terrible grasp of syntax, but okay, right? Just pass in an array of emails. Let's just see if what's my old catchphrase if anybody's joining me for my old programming streams, which is wouldn't it be crazy if that just worked? Oh, it didn't like that at all. I did something wrong. That's all right. That's life. That's life. All right.
There is a lists API if you have like a shit ton of users and you want to send it all out. You can use the lists API and have just like massive lists of all of your users and use that. It is going to be a different syntax, and so we won't do that for today.
All right. I promise to stop dunking around now. We'll actually.
The next step is, Nika, you already have access to your API code, but can you go over to your Courier app so we can just show anyone else that doesn't have access to their API key just yet how to get it?
Okay.
Awesome.
So here we are on the Courier app. Where should I go?
So let's click off of the logs, and at the bottom left of the screen, there will be a little gear for settings. And then on the menu right that showed up under settings, there'll be API keys. And all of these are hidden for now, but you just want to copy the published API key in production. You can also use test.
By the way, let me just see if I aim to zoom in a little bit. But yeah, here's that rotate button, by the way, which we'll hit after the stream. So it'll be fine. So we're copying the published one.
Yeah, we're copying the published one, and you can save that somewhere in your file somewhere, like a notes.
Sorry, by the way, I was watching the time delayed version of Twitch. I did not actually mean to ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
From Hydro Flask, I apologize. Get an L in chat. I apologize. Okay, so we copied this API key. What do we do next?
Now we're going to actually go ahead and create a Node.js app. In your case, you already have it up and running. If you are working locally and you have installed Node already, what you want to do is create a new folder where you're going to be building this project, create a file within that folder called app.js. And then after that, we're all going to be on the same page. So Nika, we actually want to install, instead of working through the shell, because right now we were just using the curl command, we're going to try to make a send notification directly through your index.js file.
Yeah, just folks, if you want to check, like, hey, do I have Node installed? Can I do this, right? Node --v from your terminal, right? You can see, hey, you have Node installed. You have some version of it.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, now we're going to write some actual code over here.
Yes, and the thing that I love about writing code is that there's always some starter code written somewhere. So I'm going to ask you to go to the Courier docs and just copy the starter code, because that just makes life so much easier.
Courier docs. Quick starts, get started with Node.js. We got our API keys. I found that much. Hey, sending a notification with Courier. All the curly braces match. I didn't have to do any kind of syntax highlighting. Oh, I'm feeling good. And then I'm going to go back because I didn't actually save that thing, but I'm going to do it now. And I promised to rotate everyone. I promised to rotate after this. Wait, I'm going to do this for serious. I'm going to mute myself for just 1 sec.
Okay. While Nika is muted, we are going to go ahead and add our API key.
Remind you at 12:37 p.m.
Sorry. Setting a reminder to say.
I love that.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, exactly what you're doing right now. We're replacing your auth token here with your actual auth token. Make sure there's no like extra spaces or any letters that are added in there. And then below you have the rest of your API call. Now this is a boilerplate, so you're going to want to change things like the email to an actual email that you can send it to. So you can use your personal email, and I'm actually going to pull up a different email for the challenges in a second. Okay.
Oh yeah, and here we have this routing object in this version, right, where we're actually able to say, hold on, let me check the chat. We're actually able to say, hey, here's how we want this message to get routed through. Where we're able, in this case, it's single, which I haven't read the API docs yet, but I understand this concept. It's like you can say, do this first, try to send it to all of them, or do it in order of preference. I'm going to set the first, second, and third thing, and here's where I prefer they get sent to.
Exactly. I don't think this is going to work just yet. We're going to have to make some minor tweaks to it, but let's try running it and seeing what happens. Okay. So the first error that we're getting is that we can't use an import statement outside of a module. So this isn't an actual module. This is just like very basic Node.js app. So instead of using the import statement, what you're going to want to do is change that to const. And then remove the from and make that into an equal sign. And then require and then put everything else in regular brackets.
What are we doing?
Parentheses. After the equal signs, you want to add require. And then like the parentheses. Yes. You'll still need the quotes, I think.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Perfect. And then the rest of it, we're going to put in an async function. Nika, why would we want to put something like this in an async function?
Because we don't want the rest of the code to hold while we're waiting to send a notification.
Exactly.
Right. That makes some sense, right? Is that, hey, I want to send out a bunch of notifications. I don't want my code to hold while this happens. Wrapping an async function though, little rusty.
So we're gonna let's just create like the function and then we'll add the information. So on line 2, can you just type async function and then we'll call it Courier because that's easy to remember. You can call your function anything you want it to, and then the regular parentheses and then curly braces. Perfect. And then everything that you have below it can go inside the curly braces. Awesome. And you've defined your async function. Now you just want to call it at the very end. So just call Courier. And I'm going to pray that this works.
Well, we'll still need to do an npm install of the Courier.
That is true. Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
module not found. Yeah.
It's called. I'm curious. It's called Courier.
It's at try Courier/Courier.
Oh, right. So that's the guys that we're just using.
So
right.
Go ahead and send this. It should be in the docs as well, but if you don't have access to it, it's in the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Zero vulnerabilities. I love that.
Wouldn't it be crazy if that just worked?
It worked. Awesome. We haven't gotten any errors. We still need to check to make sure that you got the email and that it looks good.
I'm just gonna. I bet that this is gonna return something. Let's see. Oh, please don't do that. Sorry, I messed that up. I would need it to like console log out the return value from that, but that's okay.
That's a good point. If you want to console log it out, you're gonna want to console log request ID. So at the very on line 6, do you see request ID?
Oh yeah. Console log.
Yes.
Requested.
Awesome.
All right. Feeling good.
Yeah.
Hey!
It's working.
Hey!
Are you able to pull up that email right now?
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
That's okay.
This happens to me. happens to be just like an actual email that has actual emails in it. All right, I think we're doing good. Wait, I was sending these emails. Wait, that wasn't what I was doing. Where was I sending these stuff? I was sending this stuff to my Courier email, so I will definitely check that in another window. Hold on one sec. Hey, yes, I'm getting them. Thanks for signing up. I'm gonna change this over one sec. I'm gonna take a look. This is how I have this email set up. So let's just change some of this code around. I'll send this to my Constantia address. I hate ever saying my name without the hashek in it, even in an email. I'm like, oh, that's annoying.
Aw, yeah.
Live with that. I'm not going to go, but okay. And then now, finally, thanks for signing up. Name, here's a joke. And now I'm going to.
You got it.
Here's a joke. All right. So I don't have to hit save and REPL.it. Please REPL it. Please stop taking me to www.index.js. Please stop doing that. Just stop taking me to the npm changelog. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to do this.
Perfect.
Now we get back a new ID, and I should be able to go look in Gmail. Well, just give it a sec to show up.
It will take a second to show up. And then after you have that email, can you actually pull up the Courier app and see the logs and kind of show us what it looks like on the way?
Take a look. Where are we looking here?
Data. Perfect.
Okay. 30 seconds ago, Constantia.io.
Awesome.
Okay, request received. So we get the profile loaded. Get it routed. Routing was pretty straightforward because it's single routing. All right.
Could you actually do me a favor and in the REPL, let's try to mess it up and see what happens if something gets messed up. Let's let's just not put an email.
Oh yeah, let's try sending like that. Let's try giving it.
All right, let's try that. Yeah.
We'll try a few things. Okay. So as is always happening when you make an error, right? It's like your errors happen like serially, right? So like, okay, so now it's like now we're just gonna cut. See, I want this to be valid object notation, so I'll just cut that. Try to run that. Yeah, now it's actually gonna log that full error because it's console logging out what it actually returned. Oh boy, it's a whole stack. So let me just change that. Oh yeah, so we're getting back. We actually do have the like, hey, the to property must not be empty. Here's the message.
Yeah. What's console.table?
What?
Cookie Monster said console.table can be nice if you need.
Oh yes. Sorry. So instead of doing this, just instead of saying console.log, you could say console.table. I don't know if this is going to improve this output at all, but worth finding out. Yeah, no, because actually, I think the thing is that actually it's like this call to log a value which is not populated is just causing it to like log out the whole stack because it's actually super mad about what's happening. But sorry, I'm rusty, folks, so you know. But yeah, console.table is very good if you're getting back like data that can be easily massaged into a table. But, okay, so now we made a bunch of requests, so we should be able to take a look at the logs and see some good stuff.
Yes. Let's reload our logs. And we have problems.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Unroutable.
Unroutable.
Like scrambling thing. I always let the valid provider given the Right, email, the profile loaded, it's this invalid email address. So this actually got us was probably going to be a way more interesting. I think we may not necessarily have the other ones logged because they return back an error message right from the endpoint, right? So
it didn't even go through.
We don't hit the logging. We have to give it an invalid email address for it to be like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's some super debuggable. That's some super debuggable code there.
Yeah.
I love this. I'm sending emails. I'm feeling good. I have to write the HTML. I just did it.
Awesome. So the next step is actually going to be the 4 challenges that we have. I lied in the beginning. I said we're only giving away like 3 shirts, but we have 4 more opportunities to get free shirts. And also if you DM, leak up at it. But challenge number 1 is to try to send an SMS with Twilio. So we have already sent an email. And in this case with Gmail, because that's the provider that you've already integrated. So I'm going to open it up and we're going to put like 2 minutes on the clock before Nika goes ahead and tries it on her own as well and shows it to all of us. But let me screen share the actual challenge.
Well, that's like go sign up for Twilio as part of this challenge. I'm excited.
Yeah. Go ahead. SMS with Twilio. Fantastic.
Yeah, you could use another SMS provider, but just as it happens to be top of mind, we'll do that. Here,
exactly.
We'll play 2 minutes of hold music.
Perfect. And the number that you want to send it over to, I will send in the channel real quick.
All right.
So actually, we might want to put more than 2 minutes on the clock if they need to sign up for.
So is the challenge actually get an SMS sent to that number in this amount of time? Yeah, we should give like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Be generous. Boy. Shreya, I love the bravery. I love the bravery to say here's a number.
It is a voice.google.com number. It's not mine. So
even so, I just love like here's a number. Text it.
Go ahead. This feels like a lullaby. Oh, you're playing it.
Yeah, this is my little
live music. Learn with Daniel's here, Nika.
Daniel, hi, buddy.
Listening to the musical musings of Serverless Mom, yes.
Yeah, I bought this thing like a couple months ago, and I play the piano and stuff, but I just find it nice. When I do therapy, I'm like playing it the whole time, which maybe my therapist finds annoying, but she's not allowed to do that. So
it's so soothing though. It's like not annoying at all. It just sounds
it's like
I can fall asleep to this.
Transferring back being a kid watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, they would always have like Impera music over like the peacefully ending episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's where it's from. Okay.
I gotta take a break, folks. I'm gonna step out and use facilities. We've been here for 52 minutes. Hydrate, everyone. Okay. But let's let the challenge roll out. Daniel, we gotta have lunch next week. You, me, and Shreya, let's do it. I will be back, folks.
Awesome. See you. Also, Cookie Monster. Yeah, at this point, I have no shame. I'm just going to give away all of my keys and emails and everything. Let me put a little timer on my phone as well. For 3 minutes or whenever Nika comes back. Was it Twilio to use the test API call? Or could you paste the previous code later? I didn't get to copy it all down. Yeah, I can go ahead and actually go back because I don't think you need this. Do we have the code in here? We don't have the code in here.
All right.
Nico, would you mind sending over your code?
My code for.
The first, like the send that you just did in REPL.
Oh yeah. Where am I setting this to? Wait, hold on. Wait, I can figure this out. Hold on.
Or I think you should be able to link your REPL directly.
Yeah, I should. It's public REPL, so yeah, like we can go look at it there. Please stop using my API key, everyone. Now I'm really putting it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna change this email to a different email. Stop emailing me.
I can send you an email as well for us to use. Mika, could you add this email? I just sent it in the chat for.
Oh, right. You totally set this up. And you were like, please do this. And Mom was like, no, I'm good at talking, not so good at listening. So y'all have things we're better or worse at.
Also, hi, T-Money. Thanks for joining us.
Money. Thanks for coming out. So I'm going to go sign up for Twilio over here.
Awesome. Let me know what part of it you want me to share, by the way.
What now?
Should I share your screen?
I mean, like, this is just going to be static for a minute while I sign up for Twilio. I mean, you can absolutely
okay.
Do that. Talk to an expert. Oh, I don't know that actually you can just, like, get a Twilio account right off the bat.
Really? That's weird.
I could be wrong, but
Could you screen share it, actually? We won't go through like the actual sign up process, but I want to see.
Twilio free. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish this. One sec. Oh wow. I have saved in LastPass a like Twilio password from like 7 jobs ago.
Oh wow.
Wow. That was the job that I had where I had to implement a voice message and routing system, and I implemented it like from scratch in Node. So it's like, here's how you put people on hold. Here's how you send a voicemail. Here's how you like conference people in. Here's how you send someone to another person's voicemail. Here's how you conference someone in and then send those people to a third voicemail. On all this.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I was at like the company like picnic, like 3 months into this project, and I'm eating, and I'm like, do people call us at this business that this business is? Like, I can see why we might call people, but like, why would they ever call us? And they were like, because I was like noticing that there was like a lot of like sales connections. It was like, sure, we have like a support number for things going wrong with your order, and they were like, no, in fact, this was a vacation rentals company that, as it happens, is not the one that you're thinking of, but is another one. It turned out that actually like most people at the time, this was only, I don't know, 8 years ago, were actually logging into the site, browsing through stuff, and then they were actually calling to make the final rental, because it was like a little more high-end rental, so it was like thousands of dollars, and most people were not using the website to actually do it. It was like I was building the main sales funnel for the company. Oh, I had no knowledge of that. I was like, I didn't realize that's what it was doing or why. Anyway, I used Twilio for that. It's been a long time, but let's just take a look here. Confirm my email.
And while you're doing that, I just want to remind you, when you're sending that SMS, include your Twitch username so I know who to get back to afterwards. And so I can send you swag if you're the first person to send the message.
Okay, I'm coming for you, whoever. I'm completing this
Yeah. Signing up for Twilio might be the hardest part.
So there is like somehow by Googling like Twilio sign up, it pushed me over to like the enterprise side. But in fact, like it is not. There isn't like try Twilio for free.
Okay.
And so I have to do like an SMS verification, which is fine. But yeah, I'll doing all this off of the screen share because folks, we joke, we like to joke around here, we like to have fun. Come on.
After you have your Twilio API key, you're also going to need to integrate that into Courier.
Yeah. That completely makes sense. So I'd say the only thing that is a little bit notable about this process is that I did say, hey, I want to host my code elsewhere, right? Because Twilio has a system to be its own like IDE for Twilio code. Like, no, I just want to I just want to host my code elsewhere. Okay, so I have an account info, so I think I should be able to connect that up with Courier. Let's see. Integrations. Mm-hmm. I'm just sticking around. Stop me if I'm way off here. Sure.
You're exactly on the dot. Keep going.
Just goofing. Just goofing. Okay. SMS Twilio account SID.
This part you might want to put.
Yeah, this time I'm really gonna turn off screen share for real. So I'm gonna just stop the screen share. We'll turn on in a minute. Don't worry, folks. We'll get it all back. Yeah. Okay. So this is stop. Okay. Turns out I needed one last thing called like messaging service SID. So I'll get that in just a sec here. So auth token, doing that, but message service SID. So try it out. Get set up. Okay. Create a messaging service name. So this is just stuff I'm messing around in Twilio just a little bit. Provision and add this number. Okay, that took like they said get set up in 5 minutes. It was about 40 seconds, folks.
Okay,
SID install provider. Okay. Provider successful install. Okay, so I think I'm gonna let me just start up the screen share again. I think we're good. If you push in your SMS message. Yep. Okay, and then share. Look at that. Twilio SMS is available. So I'm feeling good. All right. So inline call default. I'm not worried about that. So what do we do next? What's fun? What's next?
Let's go back to our code and actually send this message.
Let's go back to our code and actually send this message. Okay, so we're back into our code. I'm gonna cut the file browser, I guess, to get a little bit of Yeah, I'm going to just clear the console. Okay. So,
Brilliant. Okay, so we have an email. If we're sending an SMS, we probably want to add in a phone number. So let's go ahead and add another, like a little comma after email, and then another property that says phone dash number. And then colon, and then in quotes, you can add the phone number that I sent in the chat, which is +1 5.
oh, right. You said it. Sorry, let me go grab it.
Okay, you got it. Perfect.
Wait, you said it in the chat. Hold on, where? There we go.
Yes, it's somewhere in the chat.
Do you do it with the plus? It makes sense,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then, okay, let's see if I can get this right. Methods, single, channels, phone dash number, same property name.
Oh, sorry, it's phone underscore number. I was just checking. I don't know how big of an issue that would be, but
I think actually it looked like dash was maybe like object notation wasn't happening.
oh, okay. So you have your content, you have data, and then routing. You changed it to SMS.
This is not like
Fewer characters.
just kind of a guess that maybe that matters, right? It's like SMS, like.
And just add your name in there so I know that.
Yeah, right.
This is me. Serverless mom. Perfect.
Okay.
And then, so in channel, you're going to want to put SMS.
Wait. Channels is SMS, not phone number.
Yes, phone number is just the user information. The channel is SMS, and then your account only has one provider for SMS, so it will by default use Twilio. But if you had multiple providers, then you would want to specify that. But we don't have to get into that.
Right, you like a provider value here as to what you wanted to send or what your preference was.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Let's try running this. Yeah.
Hey, what's the catchphrase? Wouldn't it be crazy if that just worked? Hey! Oh my God! All right.
Let me see if I actually got the message. It might take a couple seconds. Can we go into your logs? Yeah. Wow, look at you. You already know the whole process now.
Oh, yellow error.
We got an error. No. What's the error?
Messaging service SID is invalid. Okay, so that's okay. That's on me.
Yeah. That's fixable. And doesn't require too much brain power, which is nice.
It's funny. It sort of looks like it. I'm gonna.
I removed your screen from the thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm. You can go and leave mine on because I'm in Twilio with another number. I'm gonna just send a test message from the Twilio interface.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me know if you get a message saying like Shreya test.
Okay. I haven't gotten anything yet. Is it a Twilio issue?
Let's see. So I'm getting back the like, hey, oh wait, the two message. Oh wait, no, sorry, I didn't set the two number correctly. Hold on, let me try that.
Okay.
Grab this. I set the two to be my number. So let's try that again. Okay, so now let's give it a minute or two and let's see. So this is infrastructure stuff with SMS. This is real stuff. Cookie Monster, look, I think maybe you're running it. So let's see if Cookie Monster shows up. Cookie Monster, if you go into your Courier thing and look at data, you should be able to get some info on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems okay.
Cookie Monster, I don't think I've received anything from you yet. So you might want to check the error logs. Missing a messaging service ID. SID. It should be in Twilio. You might need to Google how to get access to it. It's on like a different page.
Oh, so it looks like in Courier anyway. No thanks. Never. It's not that. It looks like in Courier anyway. The what I did was I typed in my account SID instead of the messaging service SID.
Oh, gotcha.
Let's let's give it a second, but then let's give it another try.
Okay.
You can add me back to the screen. You can add my screen.
Yes, I just added you back. Yeah.
So it looked like I had the ID wrong for the messaging service. I just copied the wrong value out. Cookie Monster, if you're the messaging service SID, you have to like go in and set up a service. You have to get set up under Twilio, and give it a try from there. Okay, so got back a message ID, which is good. It means hey, they actually received it. But now let's take a look. 18 seconds ago, undeliverable, fewer characters, undeliverable, delivery status check, true, error code. I guess let's go look at a Twilio error code. I don't know. Why not?
Are there no other error messages at the bottom?
Yeah, no, I mean, it comes back with oh, okay, yeah, here we go. So it is failing, but just because of a Twilio thing, which is hopefully this thing is showing up on the you can only send numbers to verified numbers. You send to prevent spam trial accounts, you can only send messages to verify with Twilio. So I can send the message to myself.
Okay.
But I can't send the message to any, which totally makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, that's like something that Twilio would want to say is like, hey, you can't just put in your ex-boyfriend's, SMS number. You have to be like, no, I'm going to hit verify and show that I have access to this number. But that's okay. Hey, look, we did it. Hey,
we did something. We figured it out.
I will tell you something. Again, my only other experience sending SMSs was from the AWS notification service thing, and that's definitely trying to give you this super low-level access to how notification hardware works. It took like an AWS specialist an hour to get my first message sent through. And it was still this same limitation where it was like only to my number. It could not go to any random number. And so to be able to do it in like 20 minutes is pretty flipping great. Oh, that's nice.
Brilliant. Okay. We only have like 15 minutes left in this, so let's go ahead and try another challenge. And this is going to be our last challenge for today. We're going to try to send a templated email. So now we're actually going to try to use the Courier Studio to design an email and then use the same API that you've been using to send that over. So I'm going to wait for like a couple of minutes, and then Nika, you can go ahead and get started after.
Okay.
So these are the requirements. You want to go to the Courier Designer, create any type of email that you want. You can set it up with Gmail. You can set it up with whichever provider. Gmail is probably the easiest to set up. And then just make sure that there's some sort of variable so you can get comfortable with using variables. And then copy your actual code that you end up using. So whatever's in your app.js or index.js file, paste that in the email so that I can see it as well.
Design. Create something. Oh, I'm not screen sharing it. Hold on.
Oh, have you started already?
Yeah, I don't know. I clicked on designer.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Let's go for it.
This is one of the things about DevRel, right? Is that sometimes you describe yourself as like, you're like a professional stupid person. Your job is to be like, let's click here. Let's click on the notification that looks the most appealing. Okay.
Perfect.
So design email. Oh, because I'm like zoomed in a million times. Divider. Hello.
Okay. What happens when you click on email?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Slightly funny UI state to be continued, but
Yes.
Yeah.
You have Gmail set up. Perfect. So what you did right now is you actually added both email with Gmail. As you can see on the left, you have email with like the little mail icon next to it. And then you added Gmail separately. So we can just get rid of the second one. We don't need it. Yeah, this is perfect. And then right over here, this is your designer. So you can add in whatever text, images, anything that you want over here. Or a bunch of dividers.
Several dividers.
Let's try actually playing around with some data once you've written out the text.
Okay, so now let's insert more text. Oh, let's insert some more text. And so now there's prioritized notifications. Okay, so then let's do was this double brace?
I think it should be single over here. Double was for curl. Mm-hmm. You might also not need the data dot. It could just be first name.
Oh, yeah, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, in this context, right? Yeah, so we'll probably just do age.
But if your like name object had two parts to it, for example.
Oh, right. Yeah,
name would be first name, last name, then you could use the dot. Yeah. If you're trying to access information about your user that's stored in their actual user profile, like their email or phone number or those types of details, you can do profile dot something.
Cookie Bouncer, you can send to the last message that Shreya dropped in chat is an email address that you can send to. It's
the one that says StrapiConf Workshop C, etc.
It's a little long, but that's the one to send to. Yeah. So sorry, you were just saying about trying to access user profile, because when I send this request, I'm going to send it as a data object with both of these values.
I got a fire alarm. Oh my god. Okay.
Just drop in the stream. I'll have fun. Don't worry.
Thank you. Bye.
Got it. I'll be fine. Oh, please turn your mic off though. Oh boy. Oh, I don't think she. Oh, I can't. Yes. Oh, we got it. Everything's fine. All right. Okay. All right. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So I made this email template where I put in a couple of data values, and then I want to hit preview, create a test event. Right. And that would make sense. That I would say profile email, and then let's go ahead and add the two values that I was looking for, which are name, and age. Oh, this previewer is nice. It's like, it doesn't say create test event while you have invalid object notation in there. Can we get an F in chat for a fire alarm? Wow, that's pushing it. I'm not 22. I don't know about you, but I am feeling 22. Let's create test event. Okay. So test event, untitled event. Should I have titled it? I didn't read test events. I didn't know how to title. Oh, there we go. Okay, saving closed. Okay, that's the test event. First name, we're friends here. Oh, right, because I didn't hold on. I didn't set up the test. It's supposed to be first name, right? Don't ever send it with just first name in brackets. You'll get dragged on the internet. Okay, so this syntax is not quite working for me. So let's see what's going on there. Is it this? Nope. Oh, wait. I think maybe I'm putting it in the wrong place in the test event. Maybe I'll check the docs over here. Notification. Template. Okay, so that's a template. Notification with more properties. It's a data. Okay, so let me just edit this test event a little bit. Chat, how we doing? How we feeling, chat? Test events, profile. Oh, okay. Yeah, and actually, boy, I completely missed the fact that it actually inserted these because I said I needed them. It put them in the right place. Oh boy, that's a little embarrassing. I missed that. Okay, save and close. Okay, so let's go back to the design here. First name, age, a preview. Okay, what was I doing here? It might miss something. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, there we go. Okay. Need to publish the changes first. Yes. So looks like I got it. Thank you, TSNVK. I really appreciate it. I was a little lost in the sauce there, but publish changes. Okay. View template. View template. Okay. All right. With this test event. All right. Now let's go and take a look at our documentation saying that we can send this to a template. Yeah, create a notification. So we used our designer. So what we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just make a copy of this. Index 2. Okay. And so I want to use this stuff that's in the documentation. Hold on, chat. Sorry, I'll come back to you. This path that's in the documentation, which says, hey, we can just use a template. So I don't know if I fed it some invalid HTML, but I'm not quite getting this notification to load up. I'll mess with that in a minute. But the last piece would be to go in here and change this. We'd have the same message format as to it's going to, but instead of saying, hey, here's the content, here's the routing, here's the we would be able to say, hey, here's the template, and we'd be able to say, hey, here's the template that we wanted to send it to. So that would be like this. So we would say, hey, here's the template that we want this to go to. So chat, I won't be able to see that you sent this email, but hold on a sec. Get in and close the stream. Just talking to Shreya. Shreya's out on the sidewalk with the fire alarm. I think the good news is, chat, that the apartment building is not actually on fire. So we got that going for us. So I'm not able to see an email to this test email that Shreya shared, but include your Twitch name on there, and we will absolutely get you some swag if you're able to get an email sent out to that location. But yeah, so this is the final concept, which is to say, hey, we can create and show a template. We can have it require some data, and then we can just send this data in here. Now, I would want to change my data, of course, to say first name and age. I'm sorry if the reference to Taylor Swift's 22 is not landing for the rest of you. Listen, I can only meet you halfway, right? Just grab this. Now this should fail because so it comes back as you sent it, but yeah, my account's getting over into some weird state, which I don't need to be too stressed about because it's all just demo stuff. So we're not terribly stressed about that. So folks, that's going to be most of what we're going to cover today. What I want to do next. Oh, okay. Okay. One sec. I'm gonna pull some very ridiculous business here in just a minute to try and when it's time to post the workshop. 2 minutes. Okay. So just the hilarious thing about this is that since Shreya's the one who's like running, is like the producer of the stream, I'm gonna have to try to log into them in a minute to actually like be able to end the stream. Otherwise, the stream will just go on forever. But that's okay, folks. We'll handle it. So I'm gonna end my screen share. I think at this point, if you want to take a look at my code, you can absolutely do that here. I'll drop the Replit in here. And folks, this got us to both sending an SMS and sending an email successfully from Twilio. Obviously, with a demo Twilio account, you still have to, you can only send it to your SMS number, but pretty nice. We're able to see those error codes in the console. We're able to get those messages back. If you have questions, just look us up. Either on Twitter or I believe you've gotten our email address a few times from here, so feel free to drop us an email. Send us either of us a whisper on Twitch, and we'll be happy to take a look at it and take a look at any blanks you have. Cookie Monster, if you have not already sent me a whisper on Twitch and want to get a piece of swag, you're so communicative in chat. That was just lovely. I'm going to end my screen share so that you can see my face all giant. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. And now I am going to try to hack the Matrix to actually end the stream. Hilarious. And so I'm going to try to do that, but I'll leave it open for questions while I continue to try to hack the Matrix. Look for possible audio feedback and other weirdness as I work my way through this, but no worries. Let's get in here. So we'll get over to StreamYard. That. Okay. Okay. All right, chat. Any questions? Any other stuff on your mind? Gosh, we worked through all the hiccups today, so I love that. Shreya's still out on the sidewalk having a fire alarm. But you know what? That's how it is sometimes. That's how it is sometimes. We'll just thrive our way through it. Okay. And other stuff I want to tell you, we'll be at a few conferences in the next few months. We'll be at DevOps Days in, I think, Boise, and we'll definitely be at GlueCon in Denver. Oh, yes, you did, Cookie Monster. Thank you so much. Yes, I got it. And cool. We'll be in. Let me get that. It's fine. We're getting there. Okay. Holding on. Not a problem. All right, folks. That was most of what. I hope you have a great StrapiConf, and yeah, Cookie Monster. If you want any assistance at all getting this set up, or you want a demo, we have like a solutions architect now at Courier. So if you're like, no, you build it for me, I sleep. We actually have someone who can do that, so that's fantastic. Okay, hop over here. So I think I'll be able. Let's see. Let's see if I'm going to be able to do this. Okay, I'm in, folks. It has been so good to have you all here. I am going to not do that. I'm going to enter. Still did it.